Sister Helga, how you doing? Anonymous Facebook user, what up? Back from the dead. I don't know who that is. Or is that me? It might be me back from the dead. I don't know. Shit, I feel like I was almost dead. On the real. Let's get it. Free, what's happening with you? I ain't gonna be on here long. I got a couple things that I do gotta push into in a couple hours. So I thought before these grits and catfish sat on my stomach too heavy, I thought I better get up here and say what I needed to say about this situation, because I'm not always up on the current shit, just because it's current shit. But something bothered me months ago when I heard about this song, Throat Babies. And I didn't really care to delve into it, because when I heard Throat Babies, I'm like, it can't mean what it really means. So then I actually asked a couple people, and I asked the old motherfucker, Jack, I believe it was, what the shit meant. And he told me, or he was like, and I was like, well, it can't mean that. I didn't want to believe that it meant that. Because it was being played on the radio. And I know the radio can't play profanity, but they figure out unique ways to do whatever. There's radio edits, and I've never heard a radio edit of Throat Babies, to be honest with you. I just knew that the song was being played on the radio because I heard about kids singing it on the radio. And then when I found out really what it was, I was like, okay, who we slapping first? We slapping the parents? The artist is an idiot just to make that type of song and make it even approachable for children. So the artist is actually not even in this. The fact that their talent level only goes high enough to make a song like Throat Babies, it is what it is. But I believe that we're really out here on a grand scale blaming the wrong people for all this shit. We blame the wrong folks. I mean, people want to blame the artists. They shouldn't make music like that. What else kind of music they gonna make with the talent that they got? They ain't got no fucking talent, so they make music like this. And the fact that they make music like this and it sells, that's the problem. So you got the parents out here buying this shit. Kids ain't buying this shit. Babies ain't buying this shit. They reciting the lyrics, but they not buying this shit. And I know the big thing is streams now and this, that, and the other, and how a lot of these artists get paid. I'm using artists very loosely here because there ain't shit artistic about Throat Babies. I just found out who the fucking artist was last night. I was just sitting and I was writing, and I said, you know what? Let me just see who this motherfucker is. And he's a nobody. He's a nobody with well over 200 million streams, but granted, he's still a nobody. Then I chose to look at the lyrics of Throat Babies. And I said, to have this type of fucking shit repeated by children, babies, obviously not Throat Babies, because if they were Throat Babies, then they never would be able to sing. And I don't know where my sensitivity levels really lie in this. Is it because I have small grandchildren who could potentially sing trash like this? And I swear, faux God, help my grandbabies if I ever hear them sing some shit like Throat Babies. I mean, let me just be honest. If I caught my grandson singing Throat Babies, I'm not sure exactly how far he's getting thrown. And he's a stout little fella. He's a good 75, 80 pounds now. I probably can't throw him that far. But he's gonna go. He's launching. Throat Babies? On a 5-year-old? So here's the thing. We gotta stop blaming the people who make this shit. Stop blaming them. Stop blaming the people that produce the shit. Blame the motherfuckers who allow the shit to be played on these radio stations. Shut the radio stations down. Shut the radio programmers down. Those motherfuckers shouldn't get no bread. None. And they get their bread through advertisements. But we can shut them motherfuckers down too. And the ones I'm talking to primarily are black radio stations, our urban radio stations. Because that's who made Throat Babies #1. Now, he was never #1 on the big charts. But where it matters in today's radio and music world, he was #1 with Throat Babies. In black radio, Throat Babies was #1. You fucking kidding me? #1. How can that be the #1 track played on black radio? Seriously. And when you look at the programmers in black radio, unfortunately, in urban radio and black radio, there's not always all black programmers. Considerable amount, but you look at many of the urban radio stations, they're ran by white folks. So I have to ask you, would they allow a song to be played like this on white radio stations in that particular format, whether it be pop, country, whatever, rock and roll? Would you see Throat Babies on one of their stations that their children would listen to primarily? Because black children primarily listen to radio stations that are black. All the way up to like a 95.5, which they play black music, but they ain't black. They ain't got no black DJs. They ain't black. But they play black music. That's how they make their bread, off of black music. Popular music, which is black music. Here I'm seeing Kimi and Rochelle in the chat. I was going to leave y'all alone because I wanted to have a three-way call with y'all today regarding your premiere yesterday, regarding your debut yesterday. Shout out to y'all for your first cast together. We're going to go landscape next time, all right? I don't need Kimi sitting on top of Rochelle's head next time. I need you to be, bam, side by side. Our kids are very vulnerable, Shell. Our kids are our kids are the most vulnerable, just like we are the most vulnerable people. And they throw that trash at us knowing that we love trash. We are hoarders of trash. I'm upset now, even though the song's about a year old. How upset would I have been if I had heard this shit a year ago? I don't know. But probably I wouldn't have been on it a year ago, because a year ago I was on that motherfucking election. Ski-wee! I was on the election a year ago. And a year later, where is she? Kamala has gone missing. Where the fuck is Kamala? Has anybody seen Kamala Imhoff? Has anybody seen her? Bueller, Imhoff. Where's your black VP at? Where's them Chucks and Pearls at? Where's them orthopedic Timberlands at? I told y'all motherfuckers it was gonna be hell to pay if they got up in that bitch. Yeah, we was already fucked up with the orange motherfucker, but Orange Julius really wasn't gonna do nothing more than he could already do. The pandemic was in place. It was already in place. But now you done set him up for a comeback. And I don't know if he's gonna come back as president, but the motherfucker could come back as the Speaker of the House. And you better understand politics and understand that a Speaker of the House is real powerful up in this bitch. Look how powerful Nancy Pelosi is in this bitch. I wish Nancy Pelosi was a throat baby. Ugh. We still gonna have the conversation. I thought y'all might have been busy during the day. Plus, I was trying to get a little bit of me time in. I needed a little bit of sanctity time. So I was just gonna leave y'all alone, and it's just gonna be brief because all I want to do is tell y'all all the right shit that y'all did, and because you might not know all the right shit you did, and tell you also, I'll put it right here. Thank you for not bringing anybody up. If unless I missed it, I know I had to step away, but unless I missed it, you didn't bring anybody up. That's why I didn't come up. I didn't want to come up because that was your debut and you need to establish your platform. Even though I know HAPS is a great program to bring people up instantly on your cast, I think it's the easiest way for anybody to bring anybody up on their cast out here. You didn't need to do that yesterday. You didn't need to bring anybody up on your cast yesterday. People need to learn Kimi and Ro. They need to learn Ro and Kimi. They need to figure out who y'all are. Motherfuckers who know me, they know who I am. I didn't need to infect your cast. I needed to sit right where I was sitting, orchestra pit, right down front in the chat room for as long as I could be. And then I got busy and I couldn't. But I'm going to go back and watch the end of it. But from what I saw and from what I heard, I loved it. We need that. We need women out here speaking about women shit. We need men speaking about men shit. But everybody needs to understand who y'all are before you start inviting people and letting other people see who everybody else is, because they already know who they are. But I'm in such a way with it. You know what? Let me just, a lot of y'all probably know all this, and I'm not telling some of y'all nothing. But some of this shit, I'm going to bring up a thing that I read. And it was just, I'm like, who's giving this credence? Is this the one that had the lyrics in it? No, it's not the one that had, okay. So, and I don't know why all these motherfuckers are coming from Atlanta. Atlanta has just spawned out a whole generation of motherfuckers who can't even come close to trying to eclipse or compete with Outkast. All these other Atlanta rappers that are out here nowadays, they've got a bar. The bar was set in the early 90s with Outkast. I'm not saying everybody has to rap like Outkast, has to be like Outkast, but they set the bar for Southern hip hop. Outkast, not anybody else, not anybody else that came after, not anybody else that sold more records. Outkast set the motherfucking bar for Atlanta. Now, there could be some arguments out there, and fuck their arguments, because I don't know any of those people. I knew Outkast. Outkast stretched all the way across this nation and influenced a generation of rappers. The motherfuckers right from Ann Arbor were influenced by Outkast. If you listen to Urban Black Poets in the mid-90s, you heard Outkast all through their shit. Whether you ever heard them throw shouts out to it or not, there was Outkast all in that. Motherfuckers' styles, motherfuckers' dress, everything just like Andre 3000 and Big Boy. But all of a sudden, you got motherfuckers like BRS Cash singing this bullshit ass trash. Throat Babies, Go Baby, certified gold last year. And at this time, he had 194 million global streams and held #1 positioning in all of urban radio. How? You talking about a female following semen? I'm sorry, swallowing semen. I guess I had Kevin Cosby on the mind. Follow and swallow. How does it happen? He received 26.2 million streams on Spotify and was in the top 3 highest Shazam songs. Really? The top 3. So if he was 3, I don't know who the 2 were. If he was #1, who didn't beat Throat Babies? If he was 2, Need we go on? Throat babies. I mean, it's just, here. People know the lyrics to this song. What do they call it? Bars? Is that what they call it? Bars. Here's the bars. Here's the first few bars of Throat Baby. Yeah. And I was like, okay, why would I need to go further? Sexy little bitch, sexy little hoe. I love the way you walk. I love the way you talk. I mean, this is some old nursery rhyme shit. And I know rap, a lot of it is very, very elementary. Old school, all the way to new. But it's up to you and your artistic flair to build up intricacies, to build up layers in your bars. We have none here. Sexy little bitch, sexy little hoe. I love the way you walk. I love the way you talk. This is some old Dick and Jane shit. I won't even give it fucking Dr. Seuss type shit. Let a young nigga come play in your throat. Let a young nigga come play in your throat. Now that was after sexy little bitch, sexy little hoe. I love the way you walk, love the way you talk. Deep stroke your throat till I make you show. Really? That was number one in black radio. Number one. You had motherfuckers saying bars to that. Bars. Bars. You had motherfuckers literally saying bars to that. Kimi Kali, we'll hook up later. We got a three-way text going already. Y'all let me know what time we can talk tonight, and we'll get that in. 15-minute conversation max. Because I want y'all to be going up sooner than later. Throat babies. I'm going to try to give them to you. Now he's going to try to give them to you. He just said all this other recklessness. Now he's going to try to give them to you. What you can't give them to you, what you too doped up? You drank too much? You can't get it up, young nigga? Why are you going to try to give them to her? How come you can't give them to her? How come you're not sure? Too many Xanny bars? Too many perks? Too much lean? Bitch ass punks. Throat babies. I'm going to try to give them to you. Throat babies. I'm going to try to bust all on you. Then we need to just talk before Monday. And then he repeats the same thing that he started the song with. No need to go there. Because that was the whole verse. The whole verse. Now we're talking about prostitution in the second verse. Straight up prostitution. Got a little 100, that's if you want it. Well, if she takes it, she's a prostitute. If she doesn't, she's probably dumb. Extra little 40, gotta come right now. Now, I don't know if that's him having to have an orgasm right now, or if you gotta come get this 40, because he just had 100. He lost 60 somewhere, so I don't know. Is he coughing up 100? Is he coughing up 140? I don't know. Did he lose $60 and he had 100 and he only got 40 now? Did he spend that money on drugs? Make this shit make sense. Just don't say bars. Please don't say bars. And I got beans who bite down. I don't know what he's talking about. I thought it was a typo. Then I looked at another entry for the lyrics of this song, and it's in there too. What are beans? Baked beans, lima beans, pinto beans. I'm not sure exactly what he's talking about. And why did they bite down? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Is this pimp ho culture though? Is this really pimp ho culture? Beans are Molly. Oh, okay. Okay, so now he's offering up illicit drugs, um, incapacitating drugs, date rape drugs. So basically, he don't want somebody that's lucid. He wants somebody that's a little fucking out of it. Got it. Super good head, no cap gown. I think that went with, and I got beans who bite down, super good head, no cap gown. So he didn't graduate from high school, junior high school, elementary school, preschool. Hmm. Since the first time, been fiending. Couldn't even believe it. Head like that, shit, pussy don't need it. See? That's why all these niggas gay. You gotta understand. That's why all these niggas gay. Yeah. What man don't need it? What man don't need it? A man that's looking for pussy. A man that'll just put his dick in any throat. See, I'm taking the R out now, just to let y'all know. The stream just went from throat babies to throat babies. Yeah. No, this is somebody named BRS Cash. The Baby did a remix with him, Free. Oh yeah, I'm totally up on throat babies now. I'm sorry, throat babies. Yeah, the Baby wasn't a part of this debacle at first, but he became part of debacle afterwards. Debacle with the Baby is the remix to throat babies. Yeah, throat babies, go baby with the Baby on the remix. Yeah, but this was the line that got me. And it let me know why a Lil Nas X exists. It let me know why Tyler the Creator exists. It let me know why a Jaden Smith exists. See, back in the day, motherfuckers could dress like women, but they were still fucking women. Now these dudes don't give a fuck who they fuck. Cause they not really gay. They just fuck men. Listen to all the shit that Tyler the Creator talks about. That now Lil Nas X, he tired of being gay. He like, tired. I'm gonna take my dick and balls and go home. No, you're not. Any woman that gives Lil Nas some pussy now, you are a marked woman. Give Lil Nas some pussy and let a motherfucker know about it. You'll be the laughing stock. You'll be the laughing stock. I'm just saying. Prince wore dresses. He sure did. He wore them high heel boots. He sure did. He wore assless pants. He wore double breasted breeches. He sure did. But would have fucked the shit out of everybody's woman on this bitch. Shit. I mean, growing up in the early 80s, you know, Prince had already been through his heyday by the time I got grown. But Prince was one of them motherfuckers that, I mean, and he didn't want them women. I'm sure he didn't even really slide, probably. He didn't have to slide into too many groupies. The women that he already had by his side in his band, in his bands, were already fucking 8s to 10s. He didn't have to go get him no motherfucking backstage groupies. He left all that for Morris Day and the Time. Shit. Prince had 10s on his arm. And would fuck your woman. You gonna let that nigga with eyeliner fuck me? Oh, yeah. He's gonna take your woman. Yep. When we looked at Purple Rain and they was putting the makeup on him and shit, it was at the Let's Go Crazy part, and they still, dog, he would have fucked the shit out of your woman. You could do nothing about it. You would just see your woman going away wearing Prince's trench coat. You can't do shit about it. Nothing. Start out with Denise Matthews if you want to. A lot of people like to call her Vanity. I called her Denise. Yeah. Throat Babies was such a situation. Was such a situation in 2020 that people just really didn't talk about it. The way I'm talking about it, I get it. But, sorry, hold on 1 second. Maybe because it was just caught up in dealing with the pandemic, dealing with the election, but it made a lot of noise in the music industry, in the Black radio music industry, and to see children reciting the lyrics to Throat Babies, it's embarrassing, it's insulting. Absolutely. She died way too soon. What was that shit? Kidney failure or something like that? Like, I know a lot of people like to believe in the sensationalism that she died of a drug overdose or killed herself or whatever, but she died of some like real shit. Kidney failure, I believe it was. Rest in peace, Denise Matthews. It made sucking dick okay. That was hush hush in our day. You know what? Fellatio is fine. There's nothing wrong with fellatio. But why are we writing songs totally dedicated to it and it being played on radio stations where kids can hear it? We didn't hear this type of shit back in the day. And they can talk about all the political correctness shit that they want to. Motherfucker, politically correct our Black radio stations. Why are they allowed to play this shit? Where the fuck is the FCC? I don't give a fuck if it is a radio edit and he doesn't say all the words that I'm reading here. The connotation is here. We've had music with sexual innuendo for 100 years. This ain't innuendo. This is flat out social engineering bullshit. And what it also does, and this is what I'm more into than anything, it makes sex. Anybody can do it. So you are going to have 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds out there trying to give each other throat babies. There's no parameters now. If I can say it, I can see it, I can do it. See, that was the thing back in the day. I wasn't supposed to be listening to all them goddamn Richard Pryor albums and shit. Red Fox and shit. I wasn't supposed to be listening to all that shit. That shit was all the way in the back. And actually, it was in boxes that I had to go search for that shit. And my mother had all of them. She had all them motherfucking records. And I watched them or listened to them, and I watched the Richard Pryor shows. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't go out and recite that shit. Yeah, I cussed when I was little. I was a nasty mouth motherfucker when I was little. I remember cussing when I was young. But I never did it in school, and I never did it in front of anybody's parents. I never embarrassed my mother. Never, ever embarrassed my mother, my grandmother, nobody. Never. Because I knew that ass whooping would be way worse than the one I might have took out in the schoolyard somewhere, on the playground somewhere. Shit. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with oral sex, but how we're perpetuating it is going to kill a generation. in more ways than one. Throat babies. I mean, really, are we really there as a society? And I'm not talking about all of society. I'm talking about Black society, because who is being affected by throat babies more than anybody? Ain't nobody giving a fuck about us. Ain't nobody giving a fuck about us. Let me just play something real quick. Let's jump off the script a little bit. Let's jump off the script a little bit. Let's turn this up a little bit. Sorry, hold on. Uh-oh. Here we go. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on a sec. God damn it, where you at?
I'd like to ask you real quick, sir, where do you stand? You said last week that this report about migrant families at the border getting payments was garbage.
No, I didn't say that. Let's get it straight. You said everybody coming across the border gets $450,000.
So the number was what you had a problem.
The number I was referring to.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing.
Sure.
If in fact, because of the outrageous behavior of the last administration, you coming across the border, whether it was legal or illegal, and you lost your child, it's gone. You deserve some kind of compensation, no matter what the circumstance. What that will be, I have no idea.
But you're okay with DOJ, Mr. President?
Now, I know I went from throat babies to wrinkle ass old throat. But I started with, don't nobody give a fuck about us. Nobody. Nobody cares about Native Black Americans. They care more about people who have washed up on the shores of this country illegally, ran for cover, separated at the border from their loved ones, more than they care about the people who built this motherfucking country. I've said that, been saying that. That's why I said we shouldn't vote for the motherfucker. But no, no. We had to get Chucks and Pearls in there. If y'all don't like it, Biden. We had to do it. Hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker. And you know what was up on that sinker? Some fish that Jimmy Clyburn cooked for all y'all niggas down in South Carolina. And y'all went down there and ate all the fucking fish, all the butter biscuits, and all the collard greens. And so, oh, we got to vote for Joe. We got to vote for Joe. We got to get Trump out of here. Trump has killed this country. So them 8 years that Barack Obama was hanging around, we didn't do so good in that either. Dumb motherfuckers. Did we fare better during Barack's 8 years or Trump's 8 years? Stats. 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 Did Black Americans, the motherfuckers who were born here, whose mamas were born here, whose grandmamas were born here, not the other motherfuckers that they call Black. Black Americans, did we fare better during Barack Obama's 8 years or Trump's 4 years? The stats have been in. The stats have been in. And you motherfuckers don't understand. Y'all don't understand. If we want to talk about being ignored in this bitch, if we want to talk about being left behind in this bitch, we need to start with ourselves. We don't need to start with motherfuckers who aren't supposed to be here. How the fuck do you give compensation to someone who's not supposed to be here? But let's just dig deeper into that. How can someone sue you if they're not supposed to be here? If you are illegally on this soil, how can you sue somebody? You ain't supposed to be here. How you suing? And what is your case? I was separated at the border as I illegally tried to get into this country. We rest our case. I'm sorry. I can defend this one. I don't have to object shit. But see, these aren't individuals filing the lawsuits. These are motherfuckers who are supposed to be advocating for American citizens, but they're advocating for illegals. I heard somebody call them illegal citizens. What the fuck is an illegal citizen? What the fuck is an illegal citizen? How can you be an illegal citizen? They doing everything they can to give them validity in this bitch. Just give them what y'all want to give them. Give them a voter registration card. Give them a voter registration card and let them move on. Because they're not going to vote for you when the election comes up. Speaking of that, I got to figure out when the fuck I got jury duty. That's right, I got jury duty. Come on a second. God damn it. I got this notice here. Oh, okay. It's beginning of December. I knew it was the beginning of some month. Respond to this notice. Questionnaire located within 10 days. Oh. Ooh, I don't know when it came. So I better do that. Okay. So if you do not have access to the internet, please call this number. I don't have access to the internet, so I'm going to call that number. Parking instructions and other. Fuck the parking instructions. Where's my parking voucher? I need to be compensated. I need to know that my parking is going to be paid for before I get there. And what's for lunch? Shit. Jurors who appear without checking their reporting status will not receive payment for attendance. Whoa, what's that mean? What's that mean? Okay. 2 jury duties. God damn. I remember you said you stood up for the brother. I appreciate that. He needed somebody on his side there. He needed somebody. Yeah, let me go ahead and call these motherfuckers. I ain't got no access to the internet. Okay. All right. Throat babies, y'all. We've been getting separated from our babies. Absolutely. How come nobody's thinking about that? How come nobody's thinking about the babies that we were separated from 400 years ago? What about all them babies that got separated from their families? Has there been any compensation to those families? I don't think so. Has there been any compensation to the families who were separated from their loved ones from egregious criminal laws? Over convicted, over sentenced? Has anybody been compensated for that? I know some people have won lawsuits, which I don't believe you can ever give anybody enough money for a motherfucker staying in jail unjustifiably. You took his years away. He'll never get those years back. You took a family's earner away, and they'll never get that back. Never. But we want to compensate people who voluntarily came here illegally and by chance got separated from their people at the border. And you see how he said the last administration, because of the behavior of the last administration, motherfuckers was coming over here when Obama was president, and they was getting separated at the border when Obama was president. How come nobody acts like that? How come they only act on the last 4 years? Like the orange motherfucker created motherfuckers coming over here and getting separated. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. And here's how hate works. You saw how swiftly those Haitians were removed. Same powers, practically the same personnel. How come Latinos weren't removed like that when Trump was in office, even though he was trying to build a fucking wall? The most antiquated way to try to keep a motherfucker out. I'm going to build this wall. When motherfuckers are living underground and shit, walking over to this bitch underground, he building a wall. What about the families getting separated during the war on drugs in the black community? Absolutely. Phantom clutch? Absolutely. The war on drugs. You mean just another war on black people? When they decide to say, you know what, we need to empty out the black community for the next several years, we're going to call it the war on drugs. Even though we're infiltrating the neighborhoods with drugs, we're going to arrest all the black people for using them and selling them. Yeah. And you got to understand that the only reason they're trying to do something now, because so many, and they need to stop trying to hide it, but there's so many chemically dependent white folks now. Yeah. You know what the stimulus payments brought on? It brought on some heavy spending by dope heads that were not black. Oh yeah. White folks got it in during the stimmy period. Got it in. There was more Percocets than motherfucking Vicodin and hydrocodone and Xannies and everything fucking flowing when all that money was out there in the street. When that stimmy money came in, boy, okay. Motherfuckers was coming up on prescription pills. FDA approved prescription pills. Y'all know I don't put up the disclaimers and all that shit anymore because everybody knows who I am that listens. If they don't, they can ask. But my position has always been, if you come over here, there are certain risks. And that's one of the risks when you come over here illegally. You could be separated from your family. You could die in transit. But if you're going to come over here, the first thing you need to do is get your paperwork together. Don't work in this bitch for 2-3 years talking about we trying to get it together. You need to walk right to the motherfucking immigration office. Not off into some fucking village and work for 3-4 years talking about you trying to get it together. All while you sending Western Unions back home. Now, fuck that. Because you're taking food off of people's table that's supposed to be in this bitch. Because there are people that will hire you for a lower wage than they'll hire an American citizen. So you're preventing an American citizen from taking care of their family, and you taking the money that you're making at these fucking dens of iniquity. See, I don't call a whorehouse a den of iniquity. I call a chicken processing plant that will hire Latinos for under the table money a den of iniquity, because that is a den of iniquity. Just like the studio that motherfucker recorded Throat Babies in, that's a den of iniquity. Just like the radio station that they play Throat Babies in, that is a den of iniquity. Just like a church that a motherfucker steals money from the city of Detroit and he preaches in, that is a den of iniquity. So whether it's $450,000 or $450, they don't deserve shit. This is America. Enter at your own risk. That's all we need. We need that right at the border. This is America. Enter at your own risk. And that's right there at the border where motherfuckers are coming in illegally. Because when you come in legally, you go through customs and you open up your bags and shit. You show them your ID. You fly in. You go through customs and shit, and they make sure you're good to go, and you leave. But when you come up here and your pants is soggy, and you holding your flip-flops, and you wash up on the shores, and you got to get to scurrying because the motherfuckers with the reins and shit is out there on the horses. This is America. Enter at your own risk. You don't deserve any compensation. So whether it's $450,000 they're contemplating or $450, they don't deserve shit. And once they get their $450,000, they gonna come buy that bitch. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. They about to put motherfuckers together. They about to put $1 million in a people's hand. If it's a couple, 450, they got $900,000. They starting out on top. I already told you, they're not gonna get rid of us systemically anymore. This is about to be chemical. We're not only not gonna give you reparations, we're gonna give somebody else some money to boost them above you. Push you further into the hole. Okay. Sorry about that. Wasn't playing any music, so it cuts off like that. And I missed a lot of the chat. Sorry about that. I get it. I get it. So. Sorry about this. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here and just talk briefly. Well, this hasn't been brief. It's been 51 minutes. Sorry. About things that, once again, I believe it affects us, and we attack the wrong situation. I mean, I don't believe anybody's actually attacked this BRS cash. I haven't heard anybody say anything negative technically about it. I didn't see any casters talk about this, or I probably would have jumped in and jumped on and gave my assessment of it before. I try not to follow all these casters' trends because some of these casters' trends don't even really be trends. And I'm actually I'm plotting it out. I've written a couple things down. I want to talk about career casters and career saved casters. See, there's a lot of people out here that are in this content creating space that had creative careers beforehand. Those careers went by the wayside, so they've now jumped into this broadcasting realm, and they're using their has-been platforms to elevate themselves in podcasting. There's a lot of people out here who take it very, very seriously and try to be formatically correct and try to have good audio, good video, and all that shit. But then you have somebody who actually has a few nickels to rub together to get all the perfect shit. They get all the perfect shit. Excuse me, the teenagers home. And when they get the perfect shit, they basically, what up? They basically make a whole new career out of podcasting. They could have been actors. They could have been athletes. They could have been entertainers. They could have been politicians. They could have been whatever. But those careers fizzled out. And so now they've chosen the microphone and the camera and podcasting. Some have made out really, really well at it, and they suck. Then there's others who have done really, really well, and they're really actually kind of good. Their podcasting career is actually better than their career that they had before. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that real soon, because I've seen some people that are doing some really good things in this frame, in this new way of broadcasting. Terrestrial radio is dead. We'll have radio stations, of course, but even those radio stations are more online driven, because you can only hear a radio station this far. But when you get online, you can hear the motherfucker all over the planet. And that's why people have gone to online broadcasting. So we'll talk more about that. I want to talk about the people who have made out really, really well because they're really, really good. And then the people that have made out really, really well, even though they fucking suck. It is what it is. Appreciate y'all riding with me for the 54 minutes now. Haps. Appreciate the platform. Appreciate you allowing people like Kimi and Rochelle to do their thing. Kimi's family, Rochelle is family. There's blood, there's not blood relation there. Understanding it, we family. And I know that me being in the space that I'm in probably stirred up something in them to say, you know what, we should do that shit. I'm not saying I'm the reason they're doing it, but I'm definitely saying I think I influenced them, and they're so deep in my chats. When they started talking about it, I started, what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, you illiterate motherfucker. I started inviting it. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. But I wanted that. I wanted that. I don't need motherfuckers just looking and listening to what I'm saying. I need motherfuckers looking in and listening to what everybody's who has something to say, saying about me. I've always said it's bigger than me. All this shit is bigger than me. And although I'm bigger than most, it's always going to be bigger than me. They got a message I can't spit. I have a message they can't spit. But we all fuck with each other because we're all on the same message. That's code. Y'all be good out here. Won't be long before I'm on again, saying that this day is a day that the Lord made. Because I don't know who else made it. When I didn't have to fucking get up and start stirring around for other motherfuckers today, I know the Lord must have made it. So I'm going to give the dogs the rest of these potato chip crumbs. Go ahead and get the fuck up out of here soon. Get me a refresh. And the next time we talk about something, it won't be throat babies. Okay? We done with throat babies. I had to touch on it, but we done with throat babies now. And black radio and urban radio, you good for nothing shit shows, fuck you for playing shit like this for kids to be infected by. God forbid I don't hear my grandson sing that shit. Any of my grandkids, ever. Throat babies. One love.